Hello, welcome to Win Some Lose More. My name is Dieter Loosemore, and this is my brother Rick. And you join us for the Win Some Lose More Top 50 for 2023. This is not the best games to have come out this year. This is our favorite games as of this year. I don't know
Are you
why I needed
channeling
to.
some sort of like Dr. Fox DJ of 1994 or something? What is happening?
There's a reference I didn't think would come out today. I don't know. It's
It's the
weird every
top
time.
40 with Dr. Fox. Bam, 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 bam,
No more. We'll
bam,
need to
bam,
pay
bam,
license
bam.
fees. Um,
Yeah.
if you missed it, we did our 50 to 41 last time. We are back with 40 to 31. Yes, yes. One new game, quite a few drops, three. That one's nearly the same, but a mixture. Definitely a mixture.
Hmm.
What have you got at number 40?
Well, did you know the song I was just singing? Do you know I think it's called The
No.
Race, which is a clue as to my number 40, which has dropped from number 10.
Downforce.
Downforce.
Hideous.
Down 30 is what it is.
Wait. My number 40 is Underwater Cities, down 15
Wait!
places.
Should we start again?
No,
Okay.
carry on.
My number 39, I know you won't have, is my formerly number one, is Bonanza.
No, absolutely not. No, it's on fire somewhere in my back garden. And I didn't pay for it. I stole somebody else's just to treat them.
Oh, this is the bean trading game that, if you like trading games, is about as good as it gets. If you don't like trading games, you're going to hate it, which is why I really like it and why Deep really hates it, because I'm good at trading and he's not. And it has a great fun mechanic that another game that's turned up on the list recently has. You're not allowed to change the order of the cards. And there's just some interesting fun things in it. But it really does boil down to, well, A, can you put up with hideous 90s German art? And can you put up with trading? Because if you can't, don't. But if I ever play, people are like, oh, I've played Catan, that's amazing. And I go, well, there's better games for you, but let's start with Bonanza. It's a nice way in, or
Reasonable.
Monopoly for that matter. Bonanza 39.
My number 39 will not be a crossover in this 10. Up 5 places. Was
Ooh.
44 last year, and I still have only played it once and still screwed up. But it just sticks in my brain. War of the Ring.
Yeah,
Number 39,
it's
Lord of the
gonna
Rings in a
climb.
box. It shouldn't. I mean, part of this, we spoke last time, we used an available website called Pub Meeple that helps you rank things and it just generates the list. So it just came out here. I didn't choose for it to be 39. But it is similar. It had climbed in the version that I just made myself. So I left it here because it was about right.
Hmm.
39, it's just very good. It's very
Hmm.
long, very involved. We're not warm gamers, but there's just a couple that tickle us right. War of the Ring is certainly one of them. It doesn't tickle. I don't know why I said it. I regret it immediately. You're 38.
My 38 is another war game.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Can you believe it? New to the list. I don't think you've played it. Undaunted: Battle of Britain.
Oh, cool. The plain one.
Yes, I've not played any of the other ones, but
Fine.
I bought this
Oh,
for
this
our
is
dad for his
high.
birthday. Yeah, and a bit like I said about a Memoir 44 in the last one. I played both of these this summer with our dad, and I preferred this. He prefers Memoir. Memoir is more like a war game. I won this a lot because I'm better at deck building,
Sure, sure,
because
sure.
I'm a board gamer. And so I can say, ha, I don't really know how to beat you in the warfare thing, but I know how to draft the right cards and thin out my deck and all of that side of things. And so it's probably slightly more abstracted if you are a war gamer, but it suited me better. That said, the war game element of it is quite fun, and like I said, I haven't played any of the other Undaunteds, but I hear that they're square maps, they're squares that you put together, whereas this is hexagons. And for a very good point, that you're in aircrafts.
Oh, sure.
In the Undaunteds, when you're infantry or foot soldiers, you can move or you can stand still and you can shoot in any direction because they're human beings. Aeroplanes have to move every single turn they move because otherwise they fall out of the sky. I
Sure.
know I'm teaching you to suck eggs, but this is how they abstract some of this stuff. And broadly, the early planes certainly, and it goes through history quite nicely. The early planes can only shoot in one direction, and so you have to turn and shoot and time that, and also make sure then. And it really feels like you're in a dogfight, as much as I ever want to be. But I'm just around turn around, but then you've turned around as well, and I've shot, but you've moved away already, and you get that real sense of it must have been really hard. It's
Mm.
been really hard to try and shoot people out of the air because they are, everyone's just wheeling slowly in these 100-year-old clunky old planes, and then slowly they develop. And some of them they don't move very fast, but they have unilateral shooting ability and so on and so forth. And they develop up. It's good. I think you'd really like it actually. But
Okay.
and again, it's one of those where it's a lovely experience. It's 2-player only. Play it with my dad, and he could go, yes, well this happens and this happens and yeah, really, really nice. Worked really well. Decent enough publication. Osprey generally do a good job. 38 Undaunted Battle of Britain.
Nice. My number 38 down 13 places. Your former top 10. Tell me about Downforce.
Downforce. How I weep for you. There's a good reason it's done as low as it is, and we'll come to it later. It's a racing game. I don't love lots of racing games, it has to be said. But this one, it does it well. It has this auction mechanic at the beginning because you bid on, do I want to buy 1, 2, or even 3, depending on the player accounts, cars, and the amount of money you spend increases your chance of winning because I've got 3 cars in a race of 6. There's always going to be these 6. And then there's the opportunity to bet. So actually, even though your car might not be winning, you actually put money down on anyone else's car. And you have agency. You draw cards. You have a hand of cards, and some of them will benefit you, and some of them will benefit other people. And you can choose when to do it. You could choose to be mean. Do you know what? You could just back that other person, bet on them secretly, and make them win. And because it's got that economic factor, it just elevates it beyond the level of just a normal racing game. It's also very well expanded and stuff like that. And my kids love playing it. We've got little, the Pixar Cars film. We've got little minis of that they really enjoy playing with, and I play a cut down set of rules with it. But I say, it's got this economic engine to it. That sounds really complicated for what it is. It's like buy some cars, play some cards, and race, and everyone has a good time. It just is really, really simply and well done. And it's probably my most played game in my house because the kids want to play, again, a cut down version of it. I don't do the economic thing with them. They're 4 and 6, but they want to race these cars and play some cards and make it happen. And they can count to, I've moved that one and I'll move that one. It's very simple, but it really carries through,
And the scope is why it is in my list. And, as high, I know it was 29, it's now 38. Then my maths is wrong. That's not 13 places at all, but never mind. 9. Because, I got smacked at this by an 8-year-old. And fair play to them. They didn't spend as much money and betted better, and it's just
they played an economic game.
I had fun doing it, and it can be, our parents in their 60s, your children's generation can beat me at it. I lose at most games. That's fine. I'm used to that. But I still have fun doing it and pushing the cars around the different tracks, how you take those corners, do those things. What's the quirk with this one? Just engaging. So my 38, your 40, Downforce.
37, down 25, probably okay. QE.
Okay.
Another economic game that is much simpler to play than it sounds like it should be, because it's a ticking game. It's not a roll and write, isn't it? It's almost like a flip and write. I don't know.
The
You're
bidding
trying
game.
to. It's like a bingo game. You're trying to collect set collection. I don't know. It's a set collection game. I like it. I have it in my collection. The real kicker of the thing, see, I can't even explain it, but the real kicker of the thing is you can bid whatever you like. There are no plastic or paper monies. There's just you and a whiteboard, and you can bid whatever you like. But the kicker is if you have spent the most money at the end of the game, you go bust. So
Hmm.
you want to spend more than everyone else so that you get the stuff you want, but not so much that you go bust. And every single game I have ever played of this starts conservative and ends silly. I'm going to bid £1, £2, £4, £10. Oh, someone bid £10. Okay, well, next time we're going to bid 12, 20, 30, £100. Okay, well, I'm going to bid 300, 400, £6,000. We played this with our dad and my mum and my wife, and he got really cross, didn't he? Because he lost terrifically.
Yeah.
He's like, but I bid realistically. Like, what? This ain't that game, mate. So yeah. Anyway, there you go. But yeah, again, I'm probably explaining it, and it sounds like a complicated game. It's actually a party game and a very, very silly one, and quick and fun. And did you like it? I couldn't remember.
Yes. It would take me longer to pull up my full list to see where it is
Sure.
I
I'm
don't think it's
surprised
top
it's this
100.
I'm surprised it's this low when its sister game, well, we'll see, is going to be
Yeah,
higher.
Mine 37 was mentioned last time, but was not in the list. I have played half a game of the thing that you said, Dune Imperium. My number 37, down 13 places, is Lost Ruins of Arnak.
Yes.
Still that worker placement deck building game, but where that interaction feels meaningful. It's not just that it has both mechanisms. That one drives the other.
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel as much like deck building until you're getting the cool power cards, the items and that makes sense. Of course, a machete would allow you to go here and push through this, or a card does that, or whatever it is. The theme is kind of lost. I would love to play the expansion with the asymmetrical characters that you're playing, so that you're good at something rather than just the base. But I do now have Dune Imperium, so I'm interested to see if, similar to you, that one kind of just phases out the other. I don't know where I'll land on that, but as it is, I really enjoyed the few plays of this that I've had. If it comes up to play again, I will certainly do so. It just works really well. Lost
Very
Ruins of
pretty
Arnak.
too.
Yeah, prettier than it really should be. And for these dark beasties coming up, not as dark as it could have been. So it's palatable if you don't like that stuff, and it's cool if you do. So it just works for me. 37, sorry, Lost Ruins of Arnak.
Well, my 36, it's been up and down. This is probably about the right place. It's Dominion. If you like deck building, play Dominion, basically. It's got some of the weird beasties Deep just talked about, but you don't have to play with them. There are that many sets and that many variations, even just in one set, that you can mix and match your favorite deck building set that there could possibly be. It's a little bit themeless for me. I mean, as in, I don't really like the theme, and so I don't engage with it. But it just is a really good race deck builder. You can mess around with deck building, and sometimes it works, like Lost Ruins and Dune that we've just talked about. You can make it into a train game, and trains I quite enjoy, even though that's hideous looking. There's Star Realms that Deep's talked about. There's so many great ways to use deck building, and sometimes it's just good to have a classic race deck building game, and that is Dominion, and it's good. It's just really good.
Yes. My 36, also a card game. Also very, very good. But unlike Dominion, has so much theme, and it's just not a theme I like. We'll see another iteration of this later on. This is Arkham Horror, the card game, or the living card game. And it is so good mechanically and narratively. Like, the scope of how they use the system is so impressive and it's really good. You just can't get away from the creepy beasties, and that world is not for me. Um, I play it myself, just sitting on my own. I've built a character because, again, more narrative driven. I mentioned this before. It's deck construction, which I'm not particularly good at, but this game is so popular that so many people just post what the good decks are that you don't need to think about it too much. And because it's a living card game rather than like a trading card game, you just buy the bits that you want. So I've literally bought one expansion because I like that story. It was graciously given to me, the base set. So, I've spent £10 on having a game the way that I want it, which, I'm fortunate. Normally it would cost much more, particularly now it's in a second edition, which is very expensive. But we went through the opening campaign, a group, and I got silly in the last one. I got everybody killed because it looked impossible. So I thought I'd Leroy Jenkins it and just launch myself in and died, which meant everybody did. So, but that's almost the bad side of it for me, because the actual card play, the resource management, the pandemic based deal with something bad and now push on, and then deal with something bad and push on. It all just works really well. It's a very impressive system that I wish this level of scope had a different theme. There's a few living card games, and I'll mention another one later, that does it slightly differently, doesn't have the same scope, but I prefer. We'll get there. But as it is, as a game, fantastic. But for me, it's held back because it's not for me, but it's great.
And even less for me.
Sure. Yeah.
I'd never, ever going to play it.
Yeah.
Interestingly, this seems to be the list of the foul beasties. Because my 35
my next
climbed a little bit because the kids like to play it. It's King of Tokyo.
Ah, cool.
Yeah, another one that actually they can basically play all the rules with a bit of hand holding. Again, at 4 and 6, I have to read all the text on all the special cards and that kind of thing. But you tell them, oh, it's because you've now got this ability to go supersize, or you've got a tail that swipes us all out. They're like, ha ha ha, I'm going to kill you with my giant tail. Roll some dice, fight some monsters. And you go, this is really fun. This is great. And and it just, it's to be honest, 3 years ago, 34, so about the same, then dropped into the 40s the last couple of years. Just seeing new people, and it doesn't matter if it's my kids or anyone, seeing new people come alive to something. You go, I chuck some stuff and I fight you. That's great. And my oldest still tells the story. She was like, I won because I set off some sort of atomic bomb or something that killed everyone to a certain degree, but I had more health than the other two. So I did it and I won. And that story lives in her mind. And I'm like, that's pretty good. That's pretty special. It's just a Yahtzee mechanic. It, roll some dice, keep some dice, roll some more dice. Really good. King of Tokyo. Great. Just great.
From beasties to critters, not dark beasties, but kangaroos, flamingos, penguins, and Arctic foxes. Was 27 last year, down 8 places, but that's kind of just the shuffle, no real difference. New York Zoo, a Uwe Rosenberg game that doesn't feel like an Uwe Rosenberg game. It is just a race to the finish to fill out your zoo, and there's animal pieces that are cute, and it just works. The theme pulls it through. There's some weird little fiddling rules in there, but I've just kind of never had a problem with them because the theme makes sense of them. It does a lot of the work for you, and it just works. Good scope, good range, good for like visual spatial puzzle gamers, but also cute animals, and so you can get into it a different way, even if that puzzle isn't for you. Other bits may well be. It's settling in. It'll probably be around for a little while in New York Zoo.
Still never played it. Number 34, down 5, but like you say, that's probably about the same. Just One.
Sure.
Which is now, I think, my only party game on the list. think I did have code names for a long time.
Right.
I couldn't tell you where, but it's dropped out of the top 50. This is a game where it breaks all my rules of games. It's like a beat your own score. I don't really like co-op, but nobody cares. Nobody cares. You just try and get one person who can't see a clue to guess what that word is by everyone giving them one other word clue. It sounds like someone made it up in a pub, and they probably did, but it works brilliantly, and people just have great fun playing it. Yeah, it's great and hilarious as ever that it was made by the same people who made Seventh Continent.
Yes.
What were they doing in that pub?
Taking a
34,
well-earned
just
break.
one.
Yeah. My number 34, you mentioned last time, I think I pulled them all together, although it's on the strength of the first two. Up 8 places randomly was 42. Sushi Go Party / Roll, the set. I no longer own any of them, but Party or Base Sushi Go, I would grab in a heartbeat. They're just great fun. And as you said, good scope for the age ranges, and it's just a nice filler if you're playing Sushi Go, or it's plus if you're doing Party. If they're not particularly heavy gamery people, then that'll do for the evening. You can just do that a couple of times, and it's satisfying. It's still satisfying. It's not light where you're just like, well, what was the point? It works, and it's fun, and cute sushi.
Cute. Yeah. And the kids, again, Game Right are the publishers, and they make good family games.
Yes.
Forbidden Island and what's the Fox one?
Outfoxed.
Outfoxed, yeah, great. And Dragonwood and lots of just make really good family games. And the kids they're like, oh, look at my funny one. But they want to play it.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, great.
They're still hanging around.
My 33 is half what it was last year. It was 66.
Oh, up.
But I think this is the strength of Pub Meeple. It had drifted down to 66. It had been 20 and 31 before that.
Okay.
But I think I just got a bit bored of it. But again, you put that sort of, do you want this game or this game? And you go, that's pretty good. Pandemic, I'll put Pandemic Iberia if you want to, say my favorite one. But just Pandemic generally is solid. I don't play loads of co-ops, but it really works. And you asked before, is it different enough to season 2 and whatever? I think the legacy games are like the base game, but the base game isn't like the legacy ones.
Okay.
So that's why they're separated. I do think Iberia is the best one. I think theming wise, art wise, it's really nice. I like the fact that you have to build more because you had the birth of the rail system that then you had to you can't get around very easily unless you sail, and then you start to build it in the middle. I quite like the Rome one. I haven't played Cthulhu. I haven't played all of them at this point. There's just so many. I quite like the look of the new Star Wars one actually.
Yeah.
But like you say, that system of here's something we have to beat, here's a way we have to work together. Yes, it can fall foul of alpha gamering and all that kind of thing, but there's a reason it sold millions and millions of copies. It's really good. It's a really good system, and you can play it with all sorts of people, and people get it. People get it. Number 33, Pandemic, probably Iberia.
Nice. My number 33, down 12 places. That must be a Pub Meeple thing because I played it recently, had a wonderful time. Maybe I'd have put it higher myself. The Quacks of Quedlinburg, a cool, push your luck, silly. It's got some choices in there. It is quite gamery. It's not just a raw push your luck. There's definitely choice involved, but stressful, just pulling chips out of a bag. But it's very easily to go bust. Your potion explodes or whatever. If it explodes, you only get to buy stuff or get points. Really, you want to do both to make your pot better to do it next time. Blah blah blah. Good choices. An attempt at a catch-up mechanic that I've never quite seen work successfully. Like it works, but I don't know that anyone's won because They were 12 places behind. They got a load of rat tails, which moves their starting point forward, and then do amazingly well and catch up all the way. But at least it gives you a sense of maybe, which in a quick push your luck game, it's kind of all you really need. So for me, Cracking Quacks of Quedlinburg.
Still never played this one either. Keep thinking about it. Never quite pulled the trigger. Okay, number 32 is a new one on the list for me. I mentioned before that Days of Wonder have done well with me this year. One casualty of this list is Quadropolis, which is a Days of Wonder game I really like, but has probably been bumped out by this game because it involves a similar mechanic of taking an arrow with a number on it and pointing to something and drafting that thing. This is Meadow, and specifically Meadow with the downstream expansion. I think they're both good. I think Meadow itself is fine. You throw in the downstream things and I'm like, ooh, this has got a lot of fun choices. Like I say, you draft animals, you build a tableau of a woodland walk. It's very pretty. It's very, very up. Like we said before, I like arboreal themes. I like flora and fauna. I like watercolors. It's very much that kind of pastoral. You literally, the theme is you're going on a walk and looking at nice things in the woods. I'm all about Arkham Horror. Going on a nice walk and seeing things in the woods. Yes, please. There's such a wimp on that side of things. And it's quite simple and quite serene to play. And you're like, oh, and you need to have a bug in order to be able to play a frog because the frog eats the bug. You're building this kind of ecosystem. Oh, and you've got it, you've only got the 1 and the 3 and the 4. Oh, there are real choices there, but you're just having a gentle, lovely time about it. So, and my wife likes it. We've played a bit of it. I'd like to play it more. I don't think I've quite played enough of it yet, but it's not one you're like, oh, this is going to be really juicy. But you're just like, that'd be chill. That'd be fun. Yeah, let's play some Meadow, number 32.
Nice. My number 32 is very juicy, but very small. A lot of tension for just a few cubes and a few cards. Up 1, but just one of those things, shakes itself around, stays where it is. The King is Dead. Conquering the British Isles with just either symmetrical or asymmetrical cards that you can only play one of to shift some cubes around. Again, harder to explain than play because you're not any of the factions. You're just trying to almost gamble on which faction you want, but they might be gambling the same, but differently. Who knows? Super simple. A cool graphic design. I didn't think it would be for me, but it just all works. It ties together. It gives you a sense of time. Era, whatever the word might be, just works. The King is Dead, 2nd edition, number 32.
Yeah, glorious. My 31 was your 40, I believe. Underwater Cities.
Yes, my 40. Weirdly, I can only a little tidbit about my life. Do you ever just mull a word and go, that's not really a word? All I had in my head the other day, for no reason whatsoever, was desalination.
Desalinization.
There you go. Because underwater cities, you're building an underwater city, and that's one of the types of
removing
buildings.
Salt from water.
There you go. Yeah.
18 last year, 18 last year, 16 the year before that.
Yeah.
So quite a big drop. It just I have a lot of this sort of game where you're building an ecosystem to live in or let other people live in, other things live in, and it's kind of a tableau builder, and it's kind of a mechanic, and it's kind of an engine builder, and it's kind of an economic game, and I have a lot of them, and this is just the one that I don't like quite as much. We will come to some of the other ones as we get nearer the top 10 and indeed in it.
That is exactly it.
Yeah.
One joined my top 20 and I looked at this and gone, which one am I going to choose? Do I think Underwater Cities is better? Maybe, actually, but it's not the one I'm going to pull out.
The central mechanic of let's place a worker and try and match that to a card.
Really good.
Sweet heavens, it's juicy. But ugh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, it's still number 31. It's a very, very, very good game.
Yes.
Very good game. Yeah.
Yeah. For a game I've not owned for 2 years and it's still number 40, I'm not sad it's still here, but it's exactly what you said. I've got these games and there's ones I'm going to pull out for it.
Yeah.
31 makes me a little sad. It's down 15 places. This was my 16 last year. It used to be about here, and then I pushed it up for a couple of years because I'm like, it's just always in my bag. I don't know why I keep it so low. And then I just haven't really played it this year. And so when I did the Pub Meeple thing of which would do you prefer, it's not right now. It will be again because it just is for me. Right now, it's not the one I'm pulling out over and over and over again. This is Fuse. Diffusing bombs with dice, again, 10 minutes, stress, love introducing it to people, but I'm not in that position right now. Right now, I have a group that play regularly, and when I'm teaching new games, it's because it's a brand new game, usually, that I'm very excited about. And so the need to just pop a 10-minute game in my bag that's not the stage I'm at right now.
Yeah.
So I still love it, but it's just fallen back a little bit. Not because it's any worse, not because I love it any less, just because it's not what I'm pulling out right now. Great. A lot of tension. Can't do it more than twice. My heart explodes. Fuse, love it. Thoughts on Fuse? Probably not in your 50.
No. I've just had a look, actually. 101, which
cool.
I think for me is too low. I think like you don't want to play it more than twice. It's not one I'd keep and own, but I had a blast playing it, and it was one of, let's play that again. That was great. I think that's probably a Pub Meeple thing. It's like, as we said, as we go further down the list, so I'm like, that can't be right. That can't be right. That's too low for it. It is good. I think it's a top 100 game for me, for sure.
Cool. Well, 40 to 31. Next installment complete. Good job. Well,
thank you. I salute you too.
So, we will be back with more composure for the next section.
Play a game of Meadow. Build some chill.
Build some chill is not a phrase I like for some reason. 2 new ones in the next one that are incredibly similar. Oh wow. Well, we'll get to that. 32. Yeah.
One I can't believe is new. Okay, I must have played it early in the year this year.
Cool. Anyway. But yeah, we'll get there. 30 to 21 next time. We hope you join us for it. In the meantime, it'd be great if you subscribe to the channel if you're interested in what I do. Been playing through my collection of solo games this year. We do this every year thus far, the last 4 years. So do check out past ones if you're interested to see how these things have changed. Do follow me on social media. Just search Win Some Lose More on the usual places. You will find me. But until next time, I've been Dieter, and this is Rick for Win Some Lose More. We'll see you again. Bye.